Hey there guys, I wanted to show you real quickly how you could build miniature stream tables with your students when you're teaching weathering, erosion, and deposition. Big stream tables are a few $100s if you buy the fancy ones that circulate the water for you. If you want just like the ones that are the big plastic trays, they're still a little bit pricey, especially if you want 8 of them for like lab groups, and also they take up a lot of space. So I'm going to show you a way you can build miniature ones with students. They're not obviously as effective because they're small, but it's something that you can do for not a lot of money and it still gets the main point across of how weathering and erosion works. So let's go. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to head to Home Depot or Lowe's and you're going to buy these paint roller pans. Now, there's a couple different options for paint roller pans. There's the metal ones, you don't want those. There's the really cheap, flimsy plastic ones that are only about $1 each, and you don't want those either because they don't stand up on their own at an angle. These ones have these ridges on the bottom, so it will stand up at an angle like a ramp, so you can build your stream in there. Okay, so these, I bought these in a 3-pack. They were $6 for a 3-pack, so about $2 each, and they can be used year after year, so it's not going to break the bank. So you're gonna buy these and then you're gonna drill holes at the bottom. If I was going to redo this, I would drill the holes a little bit lower. These are for your drainage for water, and you will have lakes forming down here at the bottom, so if you don't want it to fill so much, I'll probably will redo this for next year, drill holes down lower. Okay, next thing you're going to do is you're going to fill your stream tables with sand. I did not have sand that I could have got for free anywhere, so you can buy at Home Depot the bags of like paver sand. It was about $5 for a bag, and 1 bag was enough for me to fill 7 of these for groups. So again, not terrible, and especially I can use that same sand and stream tables year after year. So you're going to fill it with sand. So you're going to want most of the sand up here at the top of the ramp where we're going to be dropping water for our stream to form, and then at an incline down to here. Okay, you want to wet the sand before your first class comes in, because if it's just dry, it's just all going to run down pretty fast and you're not going to see channel formation. So wet the sand. And then another thing that I tell students before we start is, since these are so short and we're kind of limited on the amount of time and distance that the river can form, give it a place to start. So with your hand, kind of run a little channel, not deep, but get a little channel started, so when you drop your water in there, then it has a place to form, okay, your river. And then last thing that you're going to want to prep is how students are going to pour water. So we did this lab outside because I didn't want to make a mess inside and have sand everywhere. So I had these red Solo cups for them to get water and pour. If you just pour, it doesn't form great channels because it's just too much water too fast. So take your cups, poke a hole in the bottom, so that way when they fill their cup and they just hold it here, and I'll show you in a second, not a ton of water is going to come gushing out at the same time. Okay, so I'm over at the sink right now, so you can kind of see. Again, we did this outside, but just wanted to show you how it works. So you're going to take your cup. Students had buckets of water outside to fill from. And I'm just going to fill it here. I have my finger over the bottom right now, so no water is coming out. They're going to go to their stream table. Remember, you have a section that's already kind of got your stream started right there. And then let go. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. And just hold it right there in the same spot and let it run. And students are going to make observations. Okay, do I see one channel forming? Do I see multiple channels forming? How deep is the channel? Is it narrow? Is it wide? And they're going to watch. Do you see erosion happening? What types of sediments do you see sliding down? Do you see big sediments, small sediments, things like that? Okay, so the first trial, they're just kind of doing this, making observations, recording. Okay, and then after that, they can start testing some variables. So you can provide a second cup that has a bigger hole. You can change the amount of water or the discharge that's coming out. You can change the angle, so you can have a student holding it up at a higher angle. So what impact does that have on stream formation? Another thing that I had them test is I gave them ice cubes that I had frozen in the freezer, and I also put a little bit of sand and rocks at the bottom of the ice cube trays before I froze them. And then put your ice cube here and gently kind of nudge it down. So that's going to represent glacial erosion. And what do they notice? Is anything eroding down below? Is the sand look normal underneath? Like, what's happening? And as it melts, if you're outside on a warm day, as it's melting, what do they notice? So there's lots of variables you can test. I will link to my lab worksheet that I use in the comments, so if you want to check that out, you can. Remind students that between trials they need to empty this out every time. So since my holes are kind of high, I have to hold it and let it drain. So they would let that drain, smooth out the stream table again. So smooth it out with their hand, get that channel started so they have a fresh, clean start between every trial. So is that the best stream table you could do with students? No, but it's affordable. They're going to get the idea. And then you can go on YouTube and you can find videos of big giant stream tables and you can show students what that would look like. You could also have them with their hand kind of, instead of starting their channel straight, you could have it kind of meander a little bit and then talk about how do meanders form. You can show video clips of that. Are meanders in young rivers? Are they in old rivers? Why? Things like that. So anyways, I hope that's helpful, and I hope that you can do a stream table lab with your students for under 20 bucks and not be spending $500 on a fancy stream table.